Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 19 GM Challenge with the Reds. We are another month and a half ahead from the last episode, which we covered that first month of the season. We just finished the draft. I'll go over the picks we did there, and I think this year we were able to sign all of the draft picks, especially the top five, is what I usually pay attention to. We are still in the playoff mix, but St. Louis has gained some ground on us in the Central. They're 3.5 up. We're 39 and 32. Right now, standings wise, that would put us tied for that second wild card spot. So we need to really need to focus here. Looking at how we've done since that first episode, which we were good in April, okay in May, kind of keeping the pace, but June we've really struggled, 7 and 8. We got some guys who are playing okay though. Dallas Keuchel, who was a big trade in the offseason, big contract for him that we got for the next couple years, but he's played really well in the last 5 starts, 3-1 record, a 1 ERA in 36 innings. And then Castillo has been really good this year. Just let me take a look at the pitching staff and let you see. Molly is 8 wins, on pace for 18, having a great year, on pace for 200 plus strikeouts. The big knock on him is obviously his movement, but still like the year that he's having. Keuchel, after a really slow start, you saw how hot he's getting. He's looking good. But Castillo on the year, 7 and 2, a 2.33 ERA, having a great season. He's got one more year of eligibility left for arbitration. I don't think I want to sign him long term yet, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. And if you think about it, 15 wins in 2020, 13 in 2018. When he's healthy and playing okay, I think he's good for double digits in wins and probably a 2 to 3 wins above replacement. So his value there might be some value for this guy in maybe a 3 or 4 year extension when he comes up, but we'll have to see. He's not quite there yet. But after those three, the pitching staff is really kind of shot. Weaver's really struggling. Alcantara has been up and down. He's got 11 starts. Girardi's been kind of playing around with that rotation quite a bit, moving Hunter Green in and out a few times. I think Santillan may have made a start or two. Nope, he hasn't. So I know that Chad Green in the spring training at one point was in that starting rotation. I don't know if Girardi's going to try that again, but we need some help because we're not doing too well pitching still. Top to bottom. Chad Green, though, having a pretty decent year, 15 saves, 2.52 ERA. Bullpen's not doing too bad overall. Good enough, like if we go back to the team stats. I think we are top 10 in several categories, top 5 in a few. Bullpen ERA is definitely struggling, but that starter's ERA at 4th, I kind of like that. I haven't seen that high, I don't think, in a while. Hopefully we can keep that pace going. And then offensively, we're first in several categories like batting average, on base percentage. Doing a really good job overall looking at the lineups here. And it's mainly a couple of rookies who are kind of driving this team right now. Eric Ramirez, who was big in the playoffs last year, who I thought was going to be a good breakout player in this playthrough. And he's on pace still for 46 home runs, 125 RBIs, a 292 average, doing really well in his first full season. And then Trevor Cadd, his average has not really fluctuated all that much. He's still hitting 361 at the moment. On pace for some really good numbers, steals, runs, hits, average, even power is 11 home runs. That would be pretty good for the kind of player that he is. Hopefully he'll get a little bit better position ratings develop as he plays more in center, and that would be good news. But once again, I think we've had 2 rookies of the year already in this playthrough, and this is the 5th season that I've been working on this one with this GM challenge with the Reds. So that would be pretty good to have maybe a third rookie of the year in 5 years, but we just need to sustain it. We need to see these guys come along and sustain their performance. Like Shedrick Long, who was rookie of the year in 2019. He was injured last year, but he's kind of back on pace in some ways. His average is doing pretty good, but his power's not there this year. So I'm hoping that he'll pick that up as the year goes on. Cam Gibson is on pace. Cam Gibson is on pace for 30-plus home runs again. That would be good for him 3 years in a row. He was the other rookie of the year that I had. This was 2020. So we had Shedrick Long in 19 and then Cam Gibson in 20. And Trammell, I think, should have won it last year, but there was some glitch kept him from doing it. And he's been kind of up and down this year. His average has dipped a little bit. But that's how we've looked so far. I think we've still got a good balanced team. We just need to kind of keep going and keep grinding out some wins here. I want to look at the draft history, and then we'll go through and play a few games here. Might get close to the All-Star break. But for this year, 2022, our first pick, I think this was almost all pitching, really, on these first picks. I went with a closer, my first pick. I don't always do that. But this guy's potential 5-star from me and OSA. I kind of like my scouts' ratings on him a little bit better, so I'm hoping that he develops. He can actually, even though he's listed as a closer right now, he can possibly, if that third pitch develops, he might develop into a starter in the league. And then second pick, another pitcher. He's a bullpen guy with, I think, some upside, probably going to be in the mix for setup role maybe, or maybe even a closer. And then the third pick was another pitcher. This guy's hopefully going to develop into a starter. He's got 3 solid potential double-digit pitches. His stuff, movement, control, all rated potentially pretty high, and by my scout and by OSA. And then the fourth pick was another pitcher. So this guy's probably going to be bullpen. He was OSA liked him a little bit more. I'm hoping, though, that he makes it. My scout thinks he's going to be somebody you can throw in there in the middle, probably. And then fifth pick, we finally got an offensive player. This was a shortstop, rated 2-star potential from OSA, but my scout, 3 stars, great defense, great speed for the most part, high contact, which I like, high contact, speed, and defense. That's usually the kind of player I'm going for, those 3 categories. And then sixth pick, let me take a look at that one. A 3-star potential. I guess this guy is shortstop, another shortstop, but he can play multiple positions. His personality ratings weren't the greatest, but hopefully what the scout's saying is that the potential's there. I mean, his contact rating and gap power are almost to 20, which is the highest it goes. Same with avoid Ks. So there's definitely some upside for this guy, so hopefully he'll meet it. So that's how we looked, and pretty much how everything's going on our team so far. Let me look if there's anything too crazy in the rest of the league. In the American League, the Yankees are really off to a great start. They're, I think, best record in baseball, really. Won 7 of 10. Got a 6-game lead over Toronto. Boston struggling a little bit. They're under 500. It's going to be a tight race, it looks like, in the Central, Kansas City, Minnesota. And then in the West, Houston kind of pulling away. Looks like Texas, that wild card, Texas would be in line for it, but so is a lot of other teams. I mean, there's, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams within 3 games of, or 6 teams, I should say, within 3 games of that last spot in the wild card. Individually, Benintendi, leading the American League in average. He's had a pretty decent run in this playthrough for the most part. Jose Altuve is still leading in RBIs. I think he was the last time I looked at that. Showing some pretty good power for him this year. On pace for 27. He's hitting over 300. The last previous 2 years in this playthrough have been kind of so-so for him. He is signed for 2 more years, already over 2,000 hits. So I think the guy's got a good chance at the Hall of Fame with those numbers he's got. And let's see, National League, Trevor Cadd from Cincinnati, still on that leaderboard. He's leading the league in batting average right now. Kyle Schwarber showing some massive power this year. 29 home runs, on pace for 66. The thing with him in this playthrough, and probably in real life as well, is does he get enough at-bats? You know, what position are you going to play the guy? If they play him, though, at first primarily and give him a full 150 games or so, he's played every game so far this year. I think he is capable of hitting 50 plus home runs pretty easy with the ratings that he has. Pitching, Castillo second in the league in ERA. Castillo is second in wins above replacement for pitchers. Tyler Mahle is second in strikeouts. So our pitching is surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be. And really, Keuchel is the only one not on these leaderboards that I was hoping might show up there. And that's pretty good news. But we need to turn it around. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to be playing Cleveland at home in this next series, just a 2-game series, and then playing the rest of the week in Milwaukee. And let's see, Pacheco, this is a pitcher. Scout found really poor, really poor. All right, so first game against Cleveland, and we win 5-1. Big win there for us. Trammell 2 for 3, Cadd 2 for 4, Long 2 for 4, drove in a couple. Senzel may have hit a home run. Looks like, yeah, Long and Senzel had home runs, and Castillo still hot. 7 1/3, just 1 earned run to pick up his 8th win. He is looking really good this year. And then a shutout in game 2. Trammell, another good game, 2 for 5, scored 2, drove in 3. Trevor Cadd, 1 for 5. Long, another home run. Ramirez, another home run. Man, 21 now for the year for him. Puts him on pace for 47. And Long, back-to-back games with home runs, that gets him back on pace for 20. And then Alcantara, six strong innings. No runs, 6 Ks. And then Hunter Green came in and picked up a long 3-inning save. So we swept that 2-game series. And now we got Milwaukee coming up. Milwaukee is 34 and 39. That puts us 2 games behind St. Louis. We need a good series here against Milwaukee. And first game, 8-5. Trammell hitless, but Ramirez another home run. Senzel 2 for 4, good game from him. Long, another good game. And Mahle picked up his 9th win. 7 innings, 4 runs, but that's 7 innings. That's really rare. I kind of went off a little bit on my last Phillies playthrough, just talking about how difficult it is to get starters to go past that 5th inning in this game. And so I'm getting some good innings out of my starters. 8 Ks in 7 innings. Green picks up his 16th save. So now game 2 against Milwaukee, 2-3. We finally lost it. Taylor Trammell's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. That's going to be a big blow. Let me look at the game first, how it went. Shedrick Long, another home run. Keuchel, he gave me 7 innings, 3 runs, but the offense just couldn't hold it together. So now I'm going to look at the waiver wire real quick because I don't know. Man, this guy's got some pretty good ratings. I wouldn't put him in the starting rotation, but I'm not sure what I've got in the minors here who could help me. I mean, I'm going with 5 outfielders right now, but I'm not sure what I've got here in the minors. I mean, I wouldn't want to bring up Colton Dahl. I'm really hesitant to bring up someone from Double A. And free agency, I'll take a look at that just to make sure. I think I have looked at that already, and there weren't too many choices there. Chris Owing's a guy who I had on this team in 2020, and a pretty good overall player. He's got some good ratings, but he's injured a lot, and I think he was injured a lot that year that I picked him up, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, that was 2020. Yeah, he was gone 9 months that year, so I don't want to risk it with him again. So if I go with these 5 outfielders right now and look at what Girardi's got, so he's got Hunter Green backing up at first, and even Santillan, who does have some defensive ratings. He is a two-way player, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Justin Bellinger a look. He's looking pretty good in AAA, 272 average. He's rated just for first base right now, but let's see what Girardi does with him. And looks like he's going to get some pinch hitting time and backing up first base. So we'll see how that goes. And then it looks like against righties, Mangum is going to get time at right for Trammell. And against lefties, it looks like it's going to be Mangum. So Mangum's pretty much going to get the start all throughout there in place of the injured Trammell. And I like Mangum's defense. I like his speed. His contact rating is really high. So let's see if, giving him some play time, maybe that'll make him step it up a little bit. So 2 more games against Milwaukee. Third game, we win in extra innings 3-2. Cedric Long, another good game from him. And Almora got the start in this one. He struggled really. He's been struggling all year. I think he wants to be in that starting lineup, and he just doesn't have the ratings for it. And then pitching, Weaver, not too bad. 6 innings, just 2 earned runs. Santillan, 1 in extra innings, 3 strong innings from him. So we've split the 4-game series for sure. Let's take a look at the National League voting. See if we got anybody showing up there. Cody Bellinger, another good year from him. Let's see if anybody. Cedric Long's getting some votes there at second. He's a 2-time All-Star. And then Taylor Trammell got some votes there in right field. And Castillo's now getting some points there for starting pitching, and Chad Green. So we may have a good mix this time. Last game against Milwaukee, and we win 6-5. So we won 3 or 4 from Milwaukee. We're now just a game behind St. Louis. Mangum, he got a hit in this game. Long, Senzel, Gibson drove in a couple. Almora finally got a hit. Did he get a home run? Yeah, Almora got a home run. Senzel a home run. Gibson a home run. Castillo didn't pick up the win in this one. 5 innings, 3 runs. But bullpen held strong, except for Green. Chad Green blew the save, looks like. But taking a look at Players of the Week, Arenas from Kansas City in the American League, and Cedric Long gets it for the National League. 11 for 24, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Good week for him. And then in power rankings, we are 4th right now. So we are won 7 of 10, back just a game behind St. Louis. We are leading the way in the wild card race, 1 game up on Philadelphia. Trevor Cadd still leading in batting average, but tied now with Acuna. And I'm going to take a look at the waiver wire one more time. Wow. Foltynewicz, is that how you say his name? I can never get his name right, but he hasn't had too kind of a playthrough here. Not pitching as well as he is in real life. All right, so now let's go ahead. We're 3 games against Atlanta on the road. Win the first one 5-3, but Hunter Green is going to be out for a couple months there. Not sure what to make of Hunter Green. He's injured now a lot. He's not really He hasn't turned into a great starting pitcher. You can only really put him in the bullpen. So gosh, what do I do? Do I bring up Puck? I think I'm going to bring Puck up again. And I mean, I like Rivera too. Oh man, this is a difficult one. Rivera. Maciel. He did not look good in a call up earlier. I'm gonna go with Puck right now and see what that does with pitching. So yeah, Puck will do long relief and emergency starting, which is pretty much, I think, what Hunter Green was doing for me. But let's see how we won this game. Trevor Cab 1 for 3, scored a couple. Long 2 for 5. Ramirez 2 for 3. Alcantara pitched 5 and a third, didn't get the win. McGee got the win. Bradley the save. So good start to the series though. Now we got game 2 against Atlanta. 5-0 on the road. Great win. Cad 2 for 2, scored a couple. Long got his 11th home run. Really starting to show it here for him. He's hitting 321. Picked up that home run pace again. Let's see what else we got. Molly, did he get the win? He did. His 10th win. 7 innings, no runs. He is having a great year. And then no runs from that bullpen. So right now he's on pace for 21 wins. Pretty good. Well, really, that's better than pretty good. That's way above what I would expect to see from him. And so we've won the series. Can we just go ahead and sweep them here? On the road. Nope, can't do it because it's rained out. So now we got Pittsburgh, 3 games at home, 4 games at home against Pittsburgh, looks like. And we're just a half game now back from St. Louis, first game. Win 4-2, and now we are tied with St. Louis. And that puts us in the mid-season for the most part, 80 games. But let me take a look at how we won that game. Cedric Long 1 for 3. Senzel maybe another home run. Feliciano at catcher, he's having a good offensive year. Mangum 3 for 4, he's hitting 272. Keuchel picked up his 5th win, 7 strong innings again, just 2 runs. Green is 17th save. Go back to the news here, and this is how our owner thinks of our season so far. So he's pretty happy with the team record. Defensive efficiency, it is. He's really unhappy with that, and I kind of agree. We're 15th. We're dead last. I think we've got some guys that probably playing out of their primary position, but I mean, looking at the lineup, I don't really. The big thing, Gibson is not that great. Well, he is good though. He's a good defensive left fielder. Trevor Cad is a stretch, starting him every day at center. Mangum's a good defensive player. Maybe it'll pick it up a little bit while he's out. I agree, though, going with Estrada over Simmons, that might be a stretch. You can see his defensive zone rating is negative 2.9, so not too good. Only 5 errors, though, but he's probably not going to get to a lot of a lot of balls that Simmons is going to get to. Cam Gibson, though, looks pretty good. Cedric Long, he's rated really highly. He's looking okay. Senzel should be pretty strong for the most part. But he's having a pretty off year, too, looks like. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Rutschman is a much better defensive catcher than Feliciano. They're kind of splitting time there. And maybe that's where I'm losing out. I don't know. It's been really hard to pick up that efficiency, though, this year. And let's see what else we got. He wanted us to sign Tucker Barnhart, and I think that was a right move. Tucker Barnhart is not even, he's at AA right now for the Phillies. His ratings are just slipping too much to re-sign him. He was happy with acquiring Dallas Keuchel, so for the most part he's happy. still holding out to see how we play in the rest of the second half. We've got a pitching coach coming up for renewal, and man, this guy has been kind of up and down. We've made the playoffs. Well, we made the playoffs last year. He was the pitching coach with the Dodgers previous 2 years. I'm willing to offer this guy an extension. He'll go 2 more years with me. I think I'm going to let that happen. And then I'll worry about the minor leagues a little bit later. Player of the month in June was Freddie Freeman in Atlanta. He's had a great playthrough here. Or excuse me, Toronto. It's American League Player of the Month. And then the National League, it went to Nelson Velasquez, an international rookie from Chicago, it looks like. Syndergaard was Pitcher of the Month in the American League. He's now in Toronto. But how about this? Keuchel, Pitcher of the Month for the National League in June. 4 wins, 2 losses. Not great, but 30 strikeouts in 6 starts, a 184 ERA in 44 innings. He's really picking it up. I hope he finishes out the year strong. I've got him for this year and next year. I think he was a solid veteran presence, I think, for that pitching staff. I think it was a good move to pick him up. And then Rookies of the Month, Griffin Conine in the American League, and Velasquez for the National League of the Cubs. So back to we got 3 more games against Pittsburgh here. Second game, we win 6-3. Now we're a game above St. Louis. And we got that international free agent signing period starts right now too. Let's see how we won this one. Trevor Cad's struggling a little bit. Still hitting 344. Strada, good game. Rutschman. Mangum, 2 for 3. Looks like a big home run from Bellinger. Grand slam to give us the win in this one. And Weaver, 6 innings, 2 runs, 2 back-to-back decent starts from him. So we split the series. Let's see if we can win it outright. And we do win 5-3. We're 2 games up on St. Louis. And got a trade proposal. We'll look at that in a minute. But let's see. Mangum led off, was 1 for 4. Senzel, 2 for 4. May have had a home run. Ramirez, 2 for 3. Rutschman, another good game from him. Estrada, offensively, has been really good. He's hitting 300. And then Castillo picked up his 9th win, 5 innings, but just 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. Bullpen came through for us. Green, his 19th save. And still on pace for a good 18 wins from Castillo. And let me take a look at that trade proposal. That's from Washington. They would send Mac James, a catcher, and Latrell Adiyamo. Man, this guy's got some good upside. He's strictly bullpen, though. So I don't know if I need him that bad. And they're wanting Luke Weaver. So a catcher here that probably I wouldn't play. And a bullpen guy here who's currently in the rookie leagues. My scout likes him, but he's still just a setup guy. And I don't know. I think Luke Weaver, his contract is starting to get a little bit on the high side for the next 3 years. But, and he has really struggled since I picked him up. Although last year, wasn't terrible. I still think I need this guy. And you can see the last 2 months, he's picked it up a little bit. That whip is pretty good. So I'm gonna stay with him. And now let's go to the fan voting and see if we got anything here looking positive. Shedrick Long still getting votes at second. Taylor Trammell in right field, and then Castillo, and then Green in pitching. So did we look at this game? Yes, we did. So 1 more game. Can we sweep 4 games from Pittsburgh? And we do, 3-2. We are really playing hot right now. Senzel 2 for 4. Ramirez an RBI. Gibson 1 for 3. Did he hit a home run? He did, his 17th. And then Alcantara, his 4th win, looked pretty decent. Good bullpen performance. So let's see how we're looking in Players of the Week. In the American League, went to Oakland's Andrew Vaughn, who's a rookie having a pretty good year, looks like. And Austin Meadows at Pittsburgh. And then power rankings, we are number 1 for the week. And I think we are on a pretty big winning streak right now. We have won 8 in a row, 9 of 10. Jumped up 3 games above St. Louis. Tied with the Padres for the best record in the National League. Trevor Cad's still leading the league in batting average. And Molly and Castillo there on the leaderboards for wins. So good job overall. American League looks like the Yankees still looking strong. Kansas City still holding on to that central. I want to take a look at the waiver wire just for the heck of it. Mostly, you're seeing a lot of relievers being released out there. Nothing that I really need all that much. Robles, though, he's had some good years in his playthrough. It's just that movement really scary for him. So let's go ahead and play through another week and see. We're at home against Minnesota to start this next week. Let's see if we can keep the winning going. And we do 4-1. I think that's our 9th game in a row. Trevor Cad leading off. He is now a 2.5-star player. I didn't take a look, even though the scouting report didn't release. I'm wondering if there's anything that changed all that much. Yeah, it looks like Rutschman's a 4-star potential catcher now. Ramirez, 2.5, 3 stars. Long and Senzel, 4-star players. Gibson, 3 stars. Trevor Cad, 2.5 overall, 4-star potential. So, I didn't look at the full box score here, but it looks like Molly picked up win number 11. 8 innings from this guy. His ERA is now at 2.90. Amazing year that this guy's having. And Alex Wood out for the Dodgers. Pretty big blow for them, although he's not having a great year. And now Colomb, guy who was with us a couple years ago, or last year for a little bit, he's traded. So game 2 against Minnesota, and we lose. So the win streak stops at, 9, but we're still 4 games up over St. Louis. Trevor Cad starting to struggle a little bit. His average is down to 337. He was 325 in June, but in July so far hitting just 154. Ramirez, let's see what he did here. It looks like he had his 23rd home run. His pace may have slipped a little bit, but it's not still 40-plus home run pace from him. Long, he moved him up in the lineup there with Trammell out. And for the most part, he's done all right. Keuchel picked up the loss here, 6 innings, 4 runs. But now the 3rd game against Minnesota, we win 3-2, so we win the series. And another good pitching performance, it looks like. Ramirez, 1 for 2, scored a couple on 2 walks. Feliciano, a catcher, drove in a couple. And looks like Weaver, 7 1/3, just 1 run, picked up the win. He is starting to look really good, I think. 20 save for Green. And I think we may have gotten another trade proposal here from the Yankees. A catcher again for Justin Bellinger. Don't think so on that. Justin Bellinger, that grand slam. I'd like to keep him on the bench for a while. And one thing I did not look at, let's go ahead and look at that before this last series against Milwaukee. We're going to be on the road, too, against Milwaukee. Danby Swanson, 5 hits for the Braves. St. Louis, who do they pick up here? Looks like they got a 3-star second baseman and gave up a backup catcher. So that's a pretty good trade for them. But I wanted to look at that international amateurs just to see. We got like a first baseman here. Wow. Potential 20 power. I'm not seeing anything that really just makes me overly excited. Unless I may have missed some signings there, but I'll take a flyer on this international. I don't really get too heavily involved in international free agents. In other playthroughs, I have had some good luck with it. It's just mainly it's about throwing a lot of money. Sometimes even close to 10 million when those sure things come along, and it's rare that there's any sure things in this game, I realize, but sometimes you can kind of tell if the scouting report is just really from your scout and OSA is really high, and the language of it is pretty much like your scout saying this guy can't miss. And honestly, one thing too is if they've already, if they're maybe 16 years old and already they're 1 star, or their individual ratings already look pretty solid, that's a usually good sign too. But I typically don't fool around too much with some of the lesser prospects in the international free agency. Now let's go ahead and 3.5 games up. We got 3 games on the road against Milwaukee. That's how we'll end this one. First game we win 2-1. That pitching staff, man, they are carrying us this year. Cad, another bad game from him, but offensively, Mangum drove in a run. He hasn't been too bad playing for Trammell. Looks like in July he's hitting 368. Was 304 in June, so that's good from him. Castillo didn't get the win. 6 innings, just a run, but looks like the bullpen came through. And I'm going to take a look at the news real quick. The team stacks. Our bullpen ERA is now up to 6. We were, I think, 11th when I started this playthrough. We were pretty low. But we are now top 10 in a lot of categories on that pitching side. Really, I like the balance we're showing on this team right now, offense and pitching. Defensive efficiency, we've even moved up a point. We're now 14th instead of 15th. So game 2 against Milwaukee, we win 5-3, so we've won another series. Let's take a look at how we won this one. Cad finally got a hit. Long 2 for 5, drove in a couple. Senzel 2 for 5. Good hitting there from that 1st through 7th spots, man. Just really good hitting. And then Alcantara, 7 strong innings, just 1 earned run, 7 Ks. Green is 21st save. So Green is on pace now for, 39 saves for the year. Alcantara's starting to pitch really good. He was good last year in the postseason. 3 starts, a 1.59 ERA. I was hoping though that he would develop a little bit more if he got more starts, but I'm not seeing it too much, to be honest. I think his stamina a little bit on the low side to be a starting pitcher. But once again, we win a series. Let me take a look at so we got a trade proposal that came in. I already looked at that one, sorry. All-Star voting. We're getting close to the end of the All-Star voting. Shedrick Long still getting some votes there at second, but I don't know if his numbers are going to be good enough to make the team over these other 2. Albie's probably one of those 2 is going to win the voting award, and both their numbers are pretty good, maybe a little bit better than Long's overall. And then we got Taylor Trammell still getting some votes. He is a week away from coming back. I'll probably have to give him a rehab assignment, though. And Castillo getting some votes. I think he'll make it. I think he has never made the All-Star team in this playthrough. I think he's going to make it this year. And I think, honestly, Chad Green has a good chance, but I also think that Tyler Molly's going to make it this year, too. So Chris Sale hurt for Milwaukee. It's a big blow for them. So last game against Milwaukee, here we go. 5-4 sweep of Milwaukee on the road. Man, we are playing so hot right now. It's a great run that we're on. Shedrick Long, 4 for 4, scored 3 in this game. Great game for him. Now, hey, maybe his numbers, if he has another week like that, the All-Star voting probably will finalize next week. He might overtake somebody there in the voting. And Molly didn't get the win. 5 innings, 4 runs. Still like his chances for the All-Star team, though. That would be his first in this playthrough as well. But let's take a look at the week. American League Players of the Week, Vladimir Guerrero, who was MVP last year for Toronto. Travis Demeritte, pretty good year for or week for the Braves. And then power rankings, we are number 1 again. We're 4.5 games up over St. Louis. We've won 9 of 10. We're on another winning streak of 4. We got the best record in the National League. Almost the best record in all of baseball, but Yankees, Astros are a little bit ahead of us. Let's see. Yeah, Molly is still leading in wins. So I'm hoping that's enough to give him, and he's second in strikeouts. So maybe another good start before the All-Star game will get him there. But we are on a good pace right now. Started out this episode where I thought we were kind of in the hole a little bit. I think for June, when I started the episode, we were 7-8 or 8-9, something like that. So we had a strong finish to June. Started out really hot in July. So this could be a good year for us. I would really, I'm enjoying this playthrough, but I would really like to make it to the World Series and win it, move on to another challenge, because I took on the challenge because I thought this would be a team that would be hard to. I thought it would take a while, especially with that couple big contracts we had in that 2018 team and Joey Votto and Homer Bailey. I thought, we're going to really have a hard time building a team quick to make the playoffs. But I got to say, I think Girardi was the right move, signing him for what it's worth. We've made the playoffs now 3 out of the 4 seasons that I've been running this playthrough. We won the Central in 2020. We're leading the Central this year and playing a whole lot better than we were when we won the division in 2020. Off to the best start I think we've had at this point in the year. It would be nice if this is the year we can do it, and we'll see. But I'll probably go ahead, play through the All-Star break. Might even go up through till September if nothing really major happens, and we'll come back and see if we can make another good playoff run this year and win it all. But as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate the likes, subscribes. Hope you're enjoying the series still, and we'll see you next episode.